Hi guys, it's Warfare27 here again. It's been about a month almost exactly since my last video, so I've got quite a few bits and pieces to kind of talk over about in terms of sort of video games and DVDs and Blu-rays that I've gotten over the last sort of few weeks. So I'm going to start off with my Xbox 360 games, then move on to my PS3 games, and move on to the Blu-rays and DVDs. So it might be a slightly long video, but hopefully I'll try to keep everything short and sweet. I haven't seen some of the films and I haven't played some of the games, so it's all kind of just a brief little introduction about what it is I'm showing you and kind of my impressions of so far if I've played it and watched it. The first one I'm going to start off with is one of the biggest titles that's come out this year so far, and that is Max Payne 3. This is the Xbox 360 version. Made by Rockstar. It's the third in a series of games. It's been quite a while since the last one. I was a big fan of Max Payne when I had it back on the PS2, which was a while ago. Really enjoyed that. Kind of like the whole bullet time dynamic. It was kind of new to a game at that point. I haven't really played much of the second one. I did have that on the Xbox originally, but the copy didn't work very well, so I really didn't play a lot of it. Managed to catch up with the whole backstory before I got this one, thanks to a video on YouTube which went into the history of Max Payne. I'm enjoying it. It's a very good game. It looks very good and it plays really well. Some of the levels are very frustrating. It's sometimes it seems that the game's against you. Even the health's quite sparingly scattered around the levels. Slow mo, even though it's a good effect, can cause a bit of issues sometimes when you get injured by like one of the guys and you're on your last legs and you have to kill the person in order to kind of gain a bit of health back. My character has a habit of sort of twisting and sort of going in the wrong direction when I'm trying to shoot at someone in the opposite direction. Multiplayer, I've only tried a wee bit of. There's supposed to be a sort of a huge selling point of the game. You can create sort of these online gangs which you can take into your games, and there's quite a different selection of different multiplayer modes. And if you can customize your character as well, so you can have all these different characters in your gang, which will actually link over onto GTA 5 when it comes out. So whatever gang you play on here, you can play online with in GTA 5, which is quite a cool little thing to add on. So like I said, I haven't really played much of it. Obviously, Max Payne, you swap the streets of New York for Brazil, and you're now kind of a bodyguard to a sort of a rich famous family there. There's been several attempts on their family attack from like terrorists, which you see a bit opening in the game. You kind of get involved in one of the attacks, but you manage to sort of rescue everyone. But then later on, I'm trying to ruin the story, but there's a twist, and you end up having to go out after them, and that's about as far as I've got in the game. I'm still trying to rescue one of the captures. But yeah, I am enjoying it so good. It does look very good. It plays very well. It's definitely got the Rockstar kind of shine to it. But definitely want to pick and play if you can get it. I wouldn't pay what some of the shops are selling for. 40 quid seems quite steep for a game. I got this stuff just over £31 on eBay, which I was quite happy to pay for. I wouldn't pay anything over sort of that amount for this game. I can imagine it's quite a fairly sort of longish storyline compared to some other games. Rockstar are usually quite well known for their long, kind of deep, engaging storylines, narratives. So this is, it kind of sticks to that kind of base that they have for their games. But yeah, I really want to check up and play. Next one I got is Dirt Showdown, and this is for the Xbox 360 as well. It's not Dirt 4 before you get your impressions of it, it's the sequel to Dirt 3. This is basically an all-out kind of destruction derby kind of game. A lot of the tracks can get a bit repetitive because there's not that many sort of to choose from. But I quite like this kind of games. It's more my kind of thing. I like arcadey, crashing, damaging, and all kind of stuff in my games. It's basically just various modes, sort of racing, 8-ball tracks, sort of King of the Ring kind of things where you have to try and knock out as many cars as you can in a fixed amount of time. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It looks good. It's not a huge step up over from Dirt 3, which that kind of was the best of the series. It's got kind of Gymkhana kind of events, but they call something different in this. Hoonigan events, it's basically the same thing, but it's been kind of what's the word I want to use? It's been simplified. It's only a couple of things you need to do. for someone who maybe wants to get into Dirt 3, this is probably a good kind of starting point in terms of getting used to the handling. It's a bit more arcadey, and it's not rallying at all. But you know, it's a fun one to pick up and play again. You know, it's good online. It's presented well, and again, enjoying it, and you can get it cheap. It's a good game to pick up as well. This one I got in as a trade-in for another game. Quite like the first one, but it got a bit annoying towards the end. But I thought I'll give the second one a chance. And it's got a graphical overhaul. It looks more cel shady and all that. And that is the Darkness 2. This is limited edition. I bought this pre-owned, so I didn't get actually any of the bonuses that I would have got if I bought it brand new. Again, I've only just started this one off. It continues the story of Jackie Estacado from the first game, so it continues on with him and how the Darkness powers are developing with him. Again, I'm really liking this one. You know, I tried the demo when it came out, and I wasn't overly keen on it at that point. I kind of just went on a whim here and bought it, seeing it in the shop, and I thought I'd give it a chance. I'm glad I did. You know, it's gory, it's violent. It's my kind of game, really. To be honest, I like sort of monsters and all that. So yeah, I found this one easier to pick up and play than I did with the first one. You know, controlling the darkness is a lot more fun in this one. You've got more abilities, more powers. So again, I'm not that very far into this one, but you know, I'm liking what I've seen so far. But again, you know, if you like these kind of games, it's first-person shooter, but with like a horror twist, horror/sci-fi twist. You know, it's definitely one to kind of try at least. You know, it's not for everyone, but you know, it is based on a comic book. If you do like those kind of games, you know, the self-shaded kind of graphical flair to the graphics, you know, and it's just fun. It's just all out messy. So, and the newest one, which I got yesterday, which I haven't been able to play because my internet wasn't working, and I've only just got it back today, is Dragon's Dogma. Now, I don't want to sound too bad, but I mainly bought this because it has the early access code to Resident Evil 6 demo. And being a huge Resident Evil fan, this is what kind of sold it to me, to be honest. But I played the demo of this one at Xbox Live, and I actually really liked it. I've read a few of the reviews, and they said it's a fairly good game. One review said that it's close to perfection, but the clunky combat lets it down. And another review said the opposite, where you know the combat's fantastic and everything else is let the game down. I found the combat to be fine. There's no lock-on as such, but you can create a second character called Pawn, and they fully route into combat, into his quests, and you can customize them along with your own character. Plus, you can also add 2 other pawns to your group, which you can sort of select online that other people have created their own character. So that they've got a specific skill set, weapons and all that. And if they've done, they keep all the history of all their quests that they've done previously. So where they've leveled up and they've got specific weapons from doing certain quests, and you know this character will have them. So you have to pick the right characters to help you in certain quests. So it's like a big open world role-playing game. Again, it's still sealed. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm going to be doing that this weekend. But I want to do this video first because I've got quite a few things to go through. But again, like I said, I did mainly buy it for the Resident Evil 6 access code, which is available from the 3rd of July. But you know, like I said, I really enjoyed the demo of this one. I hadn't realised it's even out until someone had mentioned that it was out, so I thought I'm going to have to pick up. Again, got this one off eBay fairly cheap, so looking forward to actually playing this one. I like customising the characters and creating them from scratch, so if there's anything remotely similar to Skyrim, maybe it's about to happen, it steals your heart, you come back from the dead. It's another one. I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but you know, most games nowadays aren't. But you know, I think I'll live with the slight flaws. So that's my top 360 games. It's not a lot to me anyway, but you know, I do like spending. This has been quite a busy month for me for buying games. So I'm just going to go over the PS3 ones now. These ones I bought cheap, mainly for online play because I haven't got a lot of online games for the PS3. And the first one is MAG, which stands for Massive Action Game. It's just basically a first-person shooter, which is online playable only, and you can have up to 256 players playing in one map. And basically, this is just purely just for playing online. There's not a storyline as such, but you've got 3 different factions you can choose from. and you basically join up with one of them, and you level up through that. So that was £4 in the shop. It's second hand again. So and then this one, you can only play this one online. It hasn't got any offline modes at all. You do need to be connected to the internet to play this one. It's not the perfect looking game. It's a bit ropey, you know, but it does look fairly well. It's not an old game. It's probably, I think it's about 2-3 years old possibly. I think I meant to get it at the time when it came out, but then I kind of put it off. And then I got it on PS3 and then put it back. So yeah, it's fun. It's alright. You know, it's a bit glitchy sometimes. And, you know, the frame rate handles fairly well, even with quite a few players on, and there's still quite a few people playing it. So if you do like your kind of Call of Duty, Battlefield kind of thing, this is kind of up there, not with them, but it's in the kind of class genre. And then another online game online offline game. I enjoyed the first one. Never actually finished it because it's not a game you can actually really ever finish. But it's Little Big Planet 2. You can see that. This one seems to have a bit more of a storyline to it. I started playing it with a friend online. It's just, you know, you play as this character called Sackboy, and you can create your own worlds, levels, and you can go into other people's levels and explore them. And it's just all about collecting. So if you do look like a hoarder, this game's kind of good for you. You know, you go on, you go through the levels, collect different things to help build your own levels and worlds. And you know, it's if you haven't, you know, if you played the first one, it's very much the same, but you know, it looks slightly better. It's got better features built into it. It's got better kind of collectible items as well. But you know, it's a fun little one to play online as well. We've got 4 players. It's been that long since I've played it properly. But I really like the first one, and I really meant to get the second one a long time ago. But I saw it along with Mag, the pre-owned games. I picked it up cheap, especially with other games. Another one that I was looking forward to for quite a while. This is Prototype 2. You know, this is the RadNet edition, which comes with sort of extra missions and quests and stuff that you can do, challenges mainly. But again, I haven't played a lot of this one. Too many games, not enough time. But again, this one follows on, I think, 10 years after the first game, which, you know, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I was kind of, at the time, I was looking forward to it, and then I actually got the game, played it, and it was okay. The more I got into the game, the more I got frustrated with it. I found it too difficult, the enemies were getting too hard, and it just became just a frustration, so I gave up. I never actually finished the first game. Luckily this one here has a what happens before at the beginning of it, so if you didn't want to play through the first one right through to the end, you can watch a cutscene video which basically fill you in on what's happened and to sort of get you up to speed on where we are with this. And this one you play as this chap on the front cover here, and he's James Hellier. His wife and child have been murdered, killed, because there's been another outbreak, and he blames Alex Mercer for the death of his wife and child. But then he gets infected by Alex Mercer and basically becomes the next prototype character. So basically Alex Mercer has become kind of the bad guy. You know, in the first game he starts off as kind of like a goody guy who's been infected and he wants to get revenge. He kind of becomes this bad guy, so you can actually go as a good guy trying to take revenge on Alex Mercer. It looks a lot better than the first game. Plays a lot better than the first game, and it's just a lot more fun. Again, you know, it's gory, it's messy, it's violent, but it's just done like everything's like on a scale of +10 compared to the first game. I find it's a lot easier to fight monsters in this one as well. You know, I really enjoyed this. You know, you've got the dodge button, which, you know, it sounds something so simple, but it makes the game more fun to play when you can do these cool slow-mo dodges and attacks. And you can just basically upgrade the shit out of your character in this one and do all sorts of different chaotic sort of dismemberment and all that. Again, my kind of game, just, you know, hack and slice, gory, violent, and fun. Another one is just a new one that I got fairly recently, but I haven't really played it. I haven't really played much of the other games in the series as well, but this is Yakuza Dead Souls. I just picked this up cheap. Again, it's a zombie game. People who know me know what I'm like when it comes to zombie games and sort of scary games and gore. made by Sega. Again, I don't really know much about the Yakuza series. I've only ever played Yakuza 3 on a demo. I never tried Yakuza 4, just to was back in PS2. I was kind of, by the time that came out, I think I was up into my PlayStation 2 cycle. But it's this kind of slightly kind of open world zombie game. The controls are a bit annoying, to be honest with you, the way you have to move and shoot. But I think I'll just taking getting used to. Made by Sega. That's all I can say really about it at the moment. I don't really know much about it, but once I kind of play through it a bit more, just kick ass, kill zombies. So that's my PS3 games. Now the movies, which there's quite a few, but I'll start off with the Blu-rays, because that's what I've got most of. The reasons behind buying some of these Blu-rays was I went to see the Avengers Assembled last week at my local small cinema, and was actually kind of really enjoyed the film. I thought it was a great film, and then I actually realised I hadn't actually seen any of the films that these characters were actually in, apart from Fantastic Four. Talk a lot of crap in even in the film. So I basically went after I got home from the cinema, and I thought I'm going to have to watch these films. So I spent a good selection of money buying some of these on Blu-ray. So I'll go through them. So as I said, I haven't seen them. I only know of the characters from what I've seen in Avengers Assembled. Iron Man was one that I put off for quite a while, including the sequel. I know that Iron Man's been out for quite a while now, and Iron Man 2's been out for at least a couple of years. It wasn't one that I was actually very keen on ever watching. I used to watch the cartoon when I was little, and it wasn't one I was ever very keen on. And I don't really like Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. But I warmed to him in Avengers Assembled, so I thought I'd go back and give Iron Man and Iron Man 2 a try. So I got Iron Man and Iron Man 2 on Blu-ray. And this is just the Ultimate 2-disc edition, so it's just basic special features. And then I got the Iron Man 2, which is the triple play. This comes with the Blu-ray, DVD and digital copies. Again, still wrapped, only arrived today. So I'm basically starting off a Marvel collection with my Blu-rays now. I'm not even going to talk about them because I don't really know what happens in them. I only know the character of Tony Stark from Avengers Assembled. So yeah, I've got a busy weekend ahead of me to catch up on some of these films. The other one I got as well is Captain America, and this is the limited 3D edition, and this comes with the Blu-ray 3D, DVD and digital copy, which I thought, for what I paid, this is just under £20, which I thought was quite good. I haven't got that many 3D films to watch on my 3D TV, so I was quite pleased when I found out this was on 3D. So again, I don't really know much about this. Obviously, I got a glimpse of his story from this film in Avengers Assembled, so that's what made me want to kind of go back and find out exactly what went on before it. I know it's set during World War II, and he's the very first Avenger created. So again, you know, I hope I'm going to try and watch these over the weekend, if I can find the time, and catch up on that. The other one I got of the Avengers was Thor, and again, you can see it there, but this is the limited 3D edition as well. And this includes the Blu-ray 3D, Blu-ray DVD digital copy. Again, this one was just under £20, which I thought was quite good. Yeah, running out of things to say. The other one I got now is a film that I wanted to see for quite a while since I saw it come out. I saw the trailer for it, and that is Chronicle. Now I've actually watched this one. This is the extended edition, which I watched first, so I don't know exactly what was added on to this, because I haven't watched the standard edition. But this is about three boys who somehow end up, I don't want to ruin it, they end up with kind of telekinetic powers, and it's shot for kind of like a homemade movie kind of style, but the picture quality is really clear. The camera movement's smooth, there's no jerkiness to it. But basically it's like this guy's filming his life, so he films what's happening to them as the kind of the powers grow and they learn how to use them and kind of cope with them. But one kind of goes off the rails and starts kind of causing a bit of mayhem, so the other one has to try and sort of stop him. I really enjoyed it. You know, if you're a fan of sci-fi, horror, thriller kind of films, this is up there. I think with one of my favourite ones. It's again, you know, it's not going to be for everyone, but I really like this film. I thought it was very well done. Some of the scenes you can tell, you know, it's CGI, but I think, you know, most of the time it looks really good. And I just really enjoyed it. It's a really good film. So that's my Blu-rays, and now my last small selection of DVDs that I purchased. And the first one is The Darkest Hour. I haven't watched all this one. I started watching this not long after I bought it. And not to put you off it, I did fall asleep. I'm not saying that the film was boring, but I was tired when I was watching it. It's a sci-fi thriller, and there's a group of people, I think they're in Russia, and at night time all these kind of lights start falling out of the sky, and it's like energy, but it starts killing everyone and wiping out all the electricity. So basically these people that have survived it have to try and sort of figure out how to escape the city, and also try and avoid getting killed by these beings, or these red light energy beams. So again, I only watched about 40 minutes of it or so I haven't watched all of it. I don't know exactly what happens in the end, or what exactly these things are. It's okay, it's not perfect, the acting's a bit iffy. It does star Emil Hirsch, which, you know, he was in Speed Racer, he was in one of my favourite films called Into the Wild, and he's a very good actor. I didn't really know anyone else in this film, but, you know, what I saw so far of it was okay. Another one I got really cheap, sorry, I'm running out of power, got really cheap in the supermarket, and this is called Superheroes for Real. And this was only £5. I know it sounds quite a lot for that thing that probably no one's ever heard of, but this is a documentary, and it's about people, well, Americans, it has to be Americans obviously, who actually go out dressed up as superheroes and try and sort of protect their city from, you know, criminals and all that. It's a very good film actually. You know, it's some of them are a bit kooky and a bit odd, and you think to themselves, how in God's name do they think that they're a superhero? But there's other ones out there that generally sort of want to help. You know, and they kind of go a bit, of course, cities, New York being kind of like the main city, but there's Orlando and there's Detroit as well. And it basically just follows them around, finding out like who they are, what they do in real life, their personas, you know, their costumes, and sort of what they tend to do. And, you know, it's a really good film. You know, it's funny in parts, but, you know, it goes behind the psyche of kind of what some of these people are kind of like think, or what they're going through, or what they've gone through to kind of get to where they are and do what they do. So, you know, it's quite good. I thought this was going to be like a funny spoof documentary kind of thing, but I know I actually really enjoyed that, and I quite like watching it. So, you know, if you can find it anywhere, I'm sure somewhere like Amazon or eBay have it, and you can get it really cheap. You know, I do suggest watching it if you like kind of documentaries, and also about superheroes. I think we're going through a superhero phase at the moment. But yeah, but this is it's actually quite an enjoyable film. And the last two are some horror films. I haven't watched them, they're new again. This is called Casadaga, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's one of these independent kind of horror films. It's part of the After Dark range. I've got a few of these. I don't really know about this one, but I know it's about a ghost. This girl, her sister has died, and she seeks some help from the community. And this is the name of the town, the Casadaga. But for some reason I think they end up kind of unleashing the spirit of a murdered woman who keeps tormenting this girl. You just have to figure out how she died or why she died to try and sort of put her to rest, and also to try and stop her from being haunted. So I like these kind of films. You know, a lot of people, you know, I talk about like life and gore a lot, but that's mainly in my computer games. When it comes to horror films, I like the one more like the things that you bump through the night, things you can't see, the more things that are kind of more tied into human emotions, such as the paranormal activity films. This is probably going to be a little bit gorier, but I like ghost things. You know, they're more things you can't see, a lot more scary than things you can see sometimes. So you know, I'm quite looking forward to watching something that's quite cheap on Amazon as well. And keeping on with the ghost theme, last but not least, this film is called The Awakening, and it's set in the 1920s, and the character here, basically a, what's the word? I can't remember, but she's a paranormal skeptic and an author, and she gets asked to come to the boarding school to investigate a haunting. And she sees more things from a scientific point of view. Um, so she basically wants to try and debunk this haunting. So she goes out to the school to try and sort of prove that it's not an actual ghost. You know, that these things can be explained by sort of normal everyday things. But then gets spooked herself, and then she has to kind of figure out what's going on, because you know she has to start rethinking about her whole sort of debunking thing, you know, and the fact that you know this seems to be real. It's kind of a period horror film. Probably, I just basically saw the trailer for this one, and I thought, you know, it's my kind of film again. It's probably one of these ones that will slow build up to it, but again, it's a haunting film. You know, it stars quite a few people that are, you know, British actors, so you know, it's probably one to watch the trailer for, make it mind up then whether or not you'd like it or not. But you know, it's what things I kind of like. I think that's it. I don't have anything else at the moment. Sorry if I have rambled on a wee bit or kind of talked a bit of rubbish. Again, you know, I haven't done a lot of background work into a lot of stuff that I've been talking about here because I haven't had the chance. But I did want to kind of get this video out of the way, just because I've gotten quite a lot of stuff. If I've left it for too long, you know, I'm going to have to do either one really long video or several sort of smaller videos, and I don't know if I've got the time to do that at the moment. But you know, like I said, I always appreciate people watching. You know, suggest anything. You know, if I haven't got anything, or you want me to talk about something that I haven't already had. You know, I'm quite happy to let me know. You know, like I said, always subscribe. I'm hopefully eventually going to get a Roxio game capture device, so I can sort of do gameplay videos and reviews. Hopefully, it's all kind of still new stuff to me. You know, I'm only just learning the whole basic video caption, sound and all that. So, you know, like I said, subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force you to. It's your choice. But I appreciate you watching, and you know, if you like, then please click the like button or leave a comment below. Thanks very much.